Are you at all nervous that the visionary storytelling will soon become a thing of the past, and instead writers and directors will entirely become filmmaking equivalent of McDonald's managers? No, because there's always indie films. Like, the movies that everybody sees are coming from big studios. And so we've already seen some of that visionary filmmaking move away from big, gigantic films. And in that regard, it's already happened. And we don't have a system right now that's going to give us the next George Lucas, the next Star Wars. It's not in a place where it looks like that's likely to happen in that same way. But there's still all of these films being made outside of the United States. First off, Hollywood is not the only place making movies. And Hollywood isn't even the only place making movies here in the United States. Terrifier 3 is the #1 movie at the box office, or it was last weekend. It is not a Hollywood movie. It was not funded by a Hollywood studio. And that was intentional. They made it independent, so it would be unrated, so it would be the movie they wanted it to be. So right last weekend, I don't know, when people think visionary filmmaker, you don't immediately think the guy that came up with Art the Clown, but that's exactly what it is. It's a guy that had what's a creepy image, and then what do I like? I like, I like the Sword and Sandals movies with kind of the Excalibur. And so if Art the Clown's supernatural, we need the supernatural evil, we need supernatural good. And then kind of incorporating in some other stuff about, religious imagery into it. That's all visionary stuff. That's a person that is coming up with their own ideas, their own things they're interested in, merging it into this grindhouse, ultra gory slash film. That's visionary filmmaking. And it was #1 at the box office. So is that going to be more and more independent and less from Hollywood? That's the direction we've been going. And, maybe that'll get fixed a little bit. Maybe that'll Hollywood will learn from the error of their ways. Things come in cycles, and the last few years have made it pretty clear that people are kind of burned out on just big franchise movies. But it's tough to say. But the idea that it would ever be gone, and the only filmmaking that is done, it's all done by Hollywood just for big franchises. That'll never happen, because the technology has made it so much easier to shoot a movie with your phone. And there's movies, Hollywood movies, that have shot sequences with these right here. And the technology is only going to get better. The ability to I listened to a book recently from, I'm blanking on his name and the name of the book, but it was basically the guy that edited Star Wars. He did a ton of Brian De Palma. He did, he's Mission Impossible. I guess that's Brian De Palma. But he edited movies for 45 years. And throughout, the big thing that it did was kind of track the history of editing, of what editing required in the 70s, and these big gigantic machines. It was a workout, spinning wheels and all this stuff, and making a small cut was a big deal. And then they have these huge upgrades in the 90s where it starts being digital. It transforms editing and stuff that no one had access to in 1989, that they didn't have technology to access to do when they made Terminator 2. This is on your phone right here. And as long as I have this in my pocket and I can shoot video in my pocket with this and edit with what's in my pocket, there will always be visionary filmmakers discovering new, wild, crazy things to do. Independent. That'll always be out there. And the more that and I leverage my platform to talk about more smaller things, the more that'll happen, and the more likely it is Hollywood will make those happen. But also, equally importantly, the more each of you vote with your dollars and see more smaller indie films, the more we'll get of those. And that's why a bunch of us are seemingly overly excited about Terrifier 3, is because of this. It's this right here. Terrifier 3 is an independent movie that is just literally a guy shot a short film 20 years ago, and now it's turned into a #1 movie at the box office. But it's just this underground, grind, get it done yourself, that he just made a movie for $35,000 8 years ago, and now he had a movie come out that made $20 million in his first 3 days. That's wild. But he had a vision, and he just grinded, and he made it happen. So that's always going to be out there. So I don't think this will ever be true. Maybe Hollywood will be like that, but there's always people that will just get it done. They have to tell a story, so they'll use their phone or whatever and make it happen.
Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.